All right, and we're back. All right, yeah. The first one was first one had a little bit of a problem with the stream. Something going on. Let's see. Let me go ahead and tweet this new link out. Let's see. See if we can get anybody in the chat. If no one shows up, then I'm not gonna do much of anything. But hey, someone's here. Say hello in the chat. Yeah, so I know who's here. Nope, they are not here anymore. They left. They said, nope. Sorry, Jordan. No one wants to hang out with you. And it's true. True. No one does. Nobody does. Oh, we got another person in the chat. Hey, whoever it is, say hello. I'm trying to just tweet out this link. Come hang out and say hi on the live stream. Exclamation point. Return. And tweet. So, anyway, how's it going, everybody? How was your New Year's Eve? I've got nothing much going on. Obviously, I'm hanging out, live streaming. The Mrs. Chelsea Gasley, is at work and will not be home for a while. She will be lucky if she makes it home before midnight, but I think it might happen. But I figured I'm not doing anything, and I'm not going out in the middle of a global pandemic for New Year's festivities because I'm not. No thanks. But I figured I'd hang out here, and I wasn't doing anything, so I thought I'd live stream. 2 people in the chat. Hello, please say hello. Please let me know who's here. Maybe we can get like a little party going on. Cheers. Drink responsibly. I still have some Oktoberfest in my fridge from a couple months ago that I have been rationing because it is going to be a very long 6 months till the end of July, or 7 months till the end of July, whenever it starts showing up again. Dougie, greetings from 2022. I can't say, but I want to say hello. Thanks, buddy. Thanks for coming and hanging out and saying hey. How is 2022 for you? I know you said you couldn't stay, so you can retroactively answer this question if you come across it later. But how is 2022 over there so far? Hopefully it's great. Hopefully it's probably the same. It is probably the same, unfortunately. So still one person in the chat. Please say hello. Don't be shy. I don't bite. I have a few cats around here somewhere. They'll probably come and go as they play. One of them's right here, actually. You just can't see her. She's off the screen. Come here. Hey, come here. Somebody on the internet wants to see you. They don't. I'm probably just going to show everybody my cat. Look, there's one of them. There's a little good boy right here. He's the baby. This is the baby boy. It's awful. Oh no. That doesn't bode well. That doesn't bode well for here for the next I don't know, what do we have? It's almost 8:00, so almost 4 hours from now. It's I feel like I'm just going to have a lot of the same. That's not good, Dougie. Dougie, I told you months ago that I would send you pictures of some artwork that I had around here, and I can't remember what it was, and I feel really bad that I never followed through, so I'm very sorry. I am very sorry. I think, oh, here he is. Hey, buddy. This is my baby boy, Spooky. He's a good boy. He is a good baby. He's going to sit down right here on my chest or on my lap for a little bit because he wants attention. He hears me talking to somebody, not him, and he wants all of the attention. The first 15 minutes were pretty okay. But then aliens, oh God. Oh, should I warn the press? Is this going to be like War of the Worlds? Oh God. You know what? It's fine. I think we humans have had a good run, and maybe it's time to just hand the keys over to some other some other intergalactic race of beings, because let me just gesture broadly to everything going on. Maybe, I'm just saying, maybe we're not it. Maybe we aren't the answer. It was a Scrooge. It was a piece of Don Rosa art. Now that I'm thinking about it, it's around here somewhere. I promise that it is. I framed it, and it was on display, but then had to take it down because we were moving stuff around, and I don't know where it is. So, speaking of, when I went to Dragon Con this past year, Don Rosa was there signing stuff, and he looks the same. He looks like, what's his face? The guy from Curb Your Enthusiasm. I can't remember his name right now, but he looks like like the main character from Curb Your Enthusiasm, and is kind of just as cranky. So, which is a bummer. So, I don't know. I need to show that to you. I'll get around to it at some point. So, I figured, let's see. I figured it would. I figured I had nothing going on. Might as well do a little bit of a live stream. Maybe somebody who else who's kind of hanging around. I insist that he attend a con I can visit. You sort that out. I will see what I can do. The last time I talked to him, like actually talked to him, one, he didn't give a shit who I was, and two, was like really mad that I asked a question. So I was, hey. Oh my god! I'm gonna. This is my house all the time. All the time. Anyway, did you hear that? All right. Okay. I went to DragonCon, and it was a year that I was specifically buying art, and I passed through the art room, and I was picking pieces mentally that I wanted to purchase, but then as I was going around, I was also pulling like cards, like, oh hey, like if like a business card, if somebody had like an Etsy store or an Instagram page, or I would go and I'd grab the card, so that way if I forgot what it was I was looking for, I have a reminder that I want to go back and get this. Because at conventions, I'm getting pulled in so many different directions that I just flat out forget things. And so I was making my first or second pass, and I saw a piece that I wanted, and I asked if he had a card, and he just kind of looked at me, and he said, Larry David, that's the guy's name from Curb Your Enthusiasm. And he just kind of looked at me like with this look of confusion, and he goes, what do you need a business card for? And I said, well, in case I forget to come back and buy something. He's like, yeah, but you're here now. Why don't you just buy it now? I was like, well, I don't want to buy it now because I literally have an entire convention to go to, and I don't have a place to put the artwork because I don't want it to get ruined. I'm not going to pay $25 for a print and then have it be creased as I'm wandering around the convention. And he's just like, yeah, but you can just buy it now. Like, again, a whole day ahead of me. Don't want to fuck it up. So he's like, yeah, I don't have a card. So, all right, fine. And I did remember to go back later as the art room was closing and pick up a print, or that one print that I got from him. But you can tell that he just wasn't, he was either confused or angry that I didn't buy it the first time around. So I'm not too entirely sure what his deal is, but that's what happened. So I'll see if I can have my people call his people, and I'll see what I can do about getting him over to the UK. Yeah, it's always a shame when they're grumpy. It's kind of a bummer, and maybe I caught him on a bad day. I don't know. Maybe maybe he was just not feeling it that day, and I caught him at the wrong time. But I do feel that like every time I see him at Dragon Con, he's just kind of sitting there like Larry David, and I can just hear the Curb Your Enthusiasm music play in the background. So, and I'm sure I'm not the first person who is either noticed that or have probably mentioned it to him. I didn't mention it to him, but I'm sure he's probably gotten that before. So, I mean, maybe you guys can have a grump off. Who knows? Like, I mean, could your powers of grumpiness overtake his powers of grumpiness? There are a lot of fireworks going on outside my house right now, and it is only 7:51 p.m. It is we are more than 4 hours away from midnight, and there are already people. I also live in North Georgia, which is I feel like my town is the last stop before you get to the country. So I'm not really surprised. Going to a con in America is a dream. It all just looks on another level. It's pretty crazy, man. I've been to a lot of small conventions locally in the Atlanta area, and the biggest one I do go to is Dragon Con, and I love Dragon Con so much because uh, it's the best way and it's not even an accurate description, but the best way I can describe it is it's the Comic Con, the San Diego Comic Con of the South. And I say that only in the sheer size. San Diego still gets more people, and San Diego is very industry driven. There's a lot of the toy companies there. There's a lot of the gaming companies and comic companies and movie companies there. And Dragon Con it has a very, very tiny bit of that, but it's much more fan oriented. It started out as a 1 day comic book convention in the bottom of a hotel in Atlanta, and it just turned into a 4 to 5 day celebration of just fandoms, and I love it. I don't do the cosplay thing, but everybody who shows up that does the cosplay thing is fantastic. This is not the physique of somebody who cosplays. Like I know what I'm about, and nobody wants to see this in a cosplay. So that's for everybody else's benefit that I don't do that. But everybody who does it is fantastic. So if you ever get a chance to fly over the pond and come to Atlanta for a Dragon Con, I would highly recommend it. So it's a fantastic show. Tons of stuff to do. I am going to send out, let me see, post a link of this live stream to the Facebook page that no one really ever goes to. It's fine, I guess. So, see if we can get some of these numbers up here. Let's see. Paste. Live streaming now. Continue and publish. So, I was looking at Dragon Con actually. Someone told me Peter David was at the next one, and that was purely why. He might be. I'm not sure. I don't know if they've started announcing guests for next year. They normally open that up. I think like bigger names they'll probably try to secure as soon as possible. But I know for a lot of the I guess, man, I don't want to call them like lesser, because they're not lesser. They're just like, like they'll always secure a spot for the William Shatners or the Patrick Stewarts if they ever come through. But I know that a lot of the booking doesn't really open until like January or February. So who was the one that was I saw a big name artist writer. It was a writer. It was Chris Claremont. Chris Claremont was at the last one. He was in the comics and pop arts room. I passed by his table. He always had a long line, but he was very nice. It was pretty cool. So, two people in the chat. Hello. Please say hello. Please join me and Dougie. I'm chatting with Dougie here, all the way from the UK. So, cheers, Dougie, by the way. Happy New Year for you, my friend. Yeah, I will say that we did. So Dragon Con happened last year, and it was kind of on the verge of almost not happening, but they ended up Magic Geekdom. Hey, Kara and or Jeremy, how are you? Thanks for joining in on the live stream, buddies. So, how are things out in Utah for you guys? But going back to Dragon Con, they actually ended up cutting attendance in half, which is usually about, I think there was probably about like 45 to 50,000 people there that weekend, and it's usually twice that much. And even with it cut in half, one, it was still busy, but two, I was actually able to walk around and not bump into anybody, and everyone was really cool about wearing their masks, and they were doing a whole vaccination thing where you had to show proof of vaccination. And it's just Jeremy. We're doing all right. Excellent, buddy. Thanks for hanging out and popping in on the live stream. I have some toys here that I'm probably going to open up in a little bit. So I don't know if that's something that interests you, but I got a package today. So I've never been to a San Diego Comic-Con. I heard it's crazy. Jeremy, have you been to a San Diego Comic-Con? I know that you used to live out that way. I don't know if you have ever experienced one or not. So, I would like to at some point go to a Star Wars celebration. I really wanted to go to the one that was in Orlando 4 years ago, something like that, 4 or 5 years ago, and I didn't. I don't know why I didn't. It's not like Orlando's a long drive. It's only like a 6.5, 7 hour drive. And they actually had an exclusive figure that I need, because I have a whole bunch of these Star Wars. You can't see them because they're up on the wall behind that. Jeremy knows because he's been in the room. But there was an exclusive figure from this run. It's like the only one figure from this run that I'm missing. Nope, never been. Would like to at some point. I would like to as well. However, I need the pandemic to not stick around in order for me to go to a San Diego Comic-Con. I just feel like San Diego is already a densely populated city. The last thing I want to do is go to a convention. I love that Americans don't consider a 7-hour drive a long drive. I guess it's relative. So, I don't know. Is 7 hours a long drive for you? It's not a long drive for us. And I don't know if that's just because there are decent places to stop in between here in Orlando. But it's like, whenever my wife and I went to Disney earlier this month, we left at 5 and we were there at noon. So it wasn't, and it didn't even feel like a long drive. If something is more than an hour away, I have nothing to do with it. Okay, so I feel your pain, but also I'm so used to everything being an hour away, because within the Atlanta city limits, everything is an hour away from everything. It doesn't matter how close you are. It doesn't matter if you are in Atlanta and you need to go to Atlanta, you are still an hour away. So I'm so, like, if I wanted to go to Atlanta right now, it would probably be a 30-minute drive. And then if I wanted to go from the top of Atlanta or the north of Atlanta to the south of Atlanta, that is at least another 30-minute drive. That is nothing. So it's because if I drive more than 5 hours, I'm in another country, Scotland being teeny tiny. And listen, I guess maybe it's kind of, I never thought of it. So I thought of it that way because I've never been over to the UK, and that would be cool to drive from one country to another. I mean, I guess technically I could drive into Mexico or I could drive into Canada, but I guess maybe it's kind of like driving from state to state. 'Cause you're someplace different, but you're still in the same country. I guess maybe that's kind of similar. No, maybe. Am I just grasping at straws? I'm probably grasping at straws. So, but that's still fat. Like, God, I need to get to the UK. Man, that's just fascinating. You can drive a few hours and just be in a different country. That blows my mind. So, but then I'd be in England, and no, no, thank you. That's fair. That is fair. Yeah, everything is closer there. So, I had a question. I can't remember what it was I was going to ask, but maybe one of these days I'll actually hop on a plane and go to the UK. I want to. I really want to. But I need money to do that, and I don't. Which would be great if I could get more people to subscribe to this channel. 1,000 people to subscribe to this channel, so that way I could make, I don't know, like $3 paychecks a month, which would help. Maybe, I don't know. I remember. Here's hoping. Yeah, here's hoping. I remember like pre-pandemic in the before time of 2019, which it just seems like so long ago. So long ago. Oh man. God, we've been at this way too long. Oh man. My wife and I had discussed doing Disneyland for Christmas of 2020, or maybe it was 2021, and then the plan after that was to go do Tokyo Disneyland in 2022. Well, obviously, all of those plans went out the window, but we did get to salvage one of those trips. So we did Disney World a few weeks ago, and everything was great. Everyone was pretty cool about wearing their masks. Everyone was really nice. There are some people that were kind of being jerks, but there were probably about like 95% of the people were really cool about it. But while we were there, Chelsea had said something like, you're going to be turning 40 in 2023. And then I felt offended because she reminded me of that. And she's like, well, maybe for your 40th, we can do something special, like go to Disneyland. So that is the tentative plan. Well, Scotland, Wales, and North Ireland are lovely and well worth visiting. I would absolutely love to visit Scotland, especially since my last name is a Scottish namesake, and I didn't do any kind of like I didn't do any kind of genealogy. Like I didn't follow like my grandfather, my grandfather's grandfather, my grandfather's grandfather, Like I haven't done any of that. I just did a little bit of like minor research on the origins of my last name, and it is of Scottish origin, and it dates back to, I think, if I'm remembering correctly, like the 1000 or the 1100s or something like that. And I think that's pretty cool, and I would love to visit Scotland. So hopefully we will visit some of those places soon. Yeah, hopefully you guys get to visit. I miss you guys. I miss you guys being so close that you guys can take a a weekend trip up here and stay in that room right back there for a weekend and hang out with us. So I think I'm gonna open these figures. Do you guys want to see me open these figures? Because I know Dougie said he probably has to go pretty soon. I had this order from Big Bad Toy Store, but I found like one of these guys in the wild yesterday. This is the new, if anybody cares, this is the new one of the new figures from the last waves of the Transformers Kingdom line. So I'm really glad I got him. Whenever they wind down toy lines, for some reason, like the last handful of figures they make a lot less of, and they become really hard to find. So I'm really glad that I got that. I'm really glad I found that one. And I've got one more. They're doing a blaster figure from or for the Kingdom line. So he was the Autobot version of Soundwave. So he was the boombox. So, and I have the Soundwave boombox. So I'm hoping to find the other one soon, so I can have that arch rivalry going on my action figure shelf. So was meant to go ages ago. We'll wait for figures and head back to fight the aliens. All right. So I put in this order on Big Bad Toy Store before Christmas because some things that I had been looking for had popped up and stuff that I didn't think I would find. Like I just thought I had lost my my window of opportunity to get. But this guy showed back up. I started to dive back into the Star Wars Black Series figures, and this Darth Vader figure was very regularly found on all of the pegs a little over a year ago. Like I was tripping over these and I didn't buy it, and I don't know why. And I was like, oh, I don't need it. And then like 2 months ago, I'm like, hey, I want that Darth Vader figure, but now I couldn't find it anywhere. And it took forever, but I was kind of keeping an eye on Big Bad Toy Store to get one back in stock, and then one did come back in stock. I put it in my cart, and then I got busy. I got distracted with something I had to do. I can't remember what it was I was doing, but it wasn't until a couple hours later I went back for it, and then I went to go check out, and it was sold out. I was like, damn it, I had it in my cart. Why didn't I just push buy right then and there? And this was at the beginning of November, and I was so angry with myself. And then, I dropped something. A couple of days later, I was just sitting on the couch surfing, scrolling on my phone, and check out that lightsaber. Do you guys make lightsaber noises like that? Or are you a nerd like me, or are you normal? Anyway, so I checked back again, and it said that it was back in stock. So I hurried up, put one in my cart again, and then I saved it, or then I purchased it, and then Big Bad Toy Store, which is where I got it, has this really cool function called Pile of Loot, where you can buy as many things as you want, and you can stash it in your pile of loot. And then instead of paying shipping on each order, you can just have it all shipped at once, and they only have a one-time flat fee of $4 shipping. So if you buy one thing, it's $4, or if you buy 100 things, it's $4. So I was like, all right, I'll wait till I have at least 2 or 3 things in my pile of loot to order it. So I bought this at the beginning of November, and it's sat in my pile of loot for like essentially almost 2 months, because it was like November 4th or 5th that I put this in my pile of loot. I really like this box art too. I think these really, really cool artwork that they've got going on the side of the box. Anyway, I Then something else that I wanted came in stock, which I'm going to show you here in a second. But let's take a look. I think what I really like about this Vader is that they do the cloth cape, and they don't do that a lot with figures these days. And oh man, this looks really good. And this one is specifically from Empire Strikes Back, which is obviously the greatest Star Wars film ever made. So I don't think I'll get much pushback from anybody in the chat on that one. But this, oh, he's got a double joint, a Vader double joint on the knee. I was not expecting that. Does he have a thigh? So yep, he's got a thigh swivel. He's got an ankle rocker. Man, this looks good. This is a good quality cape too. Like I didn't think it would be as like thick and heavy duty as it is, but man, it looks good. The only thing that I think would be better is if somehow it like had wires in it so you could pose it. But I think I'll be able to get some pretty cool poses out of it. Let's give him his lightsaber. So we can get some badass Vader poses going on. This is a really good figure. I'm glad that this finally came back in stock because I'm really bummed that I missed out on it the first time. But it looks pretty cool. I'll probably take some photos of these and toss them up on the Instagram page at some point during the night. While I wait for Chelsea to come home, you can do the, since it's Empire Strikes Back, he's got the little hand. It's like when he's talking to Luke Skywalker. Obi-Wan never told you the truth about your father. That's, I don't know why that was my Vader impression. But anyway, that's a cool looking Vader figure, right? I like it a lot. I like it a lot. That'll look great with the rest of the figures over here on the shelf. Let's see. Let me pose him real quick, and then I will move on to my next. So, where did I put my drink? My drink's right here. So the next figure I got is actually a really cool series that I'm just starting to get into. The problem is that they're expensive. Like they're $50 a figure, but apparently they're like the quality is great. And I've seen some, but I don't own any. But I am just kind of jumping into them. I actually have 2 more of these figures on order. It's not from a show. It's not from a comic book or anything. It's just a straight up toy line called Mythic Legions, and a lot of these are kind of like, I guess, higher end figures. A lot of action figure collectors are really into these, and I held off for the longest time because again they're pretty pricey. For the price of one of these, I could get 2 of those Star Wars figures and still have $10 left over. So I had a friend who had not this figure, but some of the figures from this line, and it's a toy line based in high fantasy. Some of the figures look like a combo of Greek and Roman soldiers, like Roman gladiators and Greek hoplites. Some of them look like knights. Some of them are actual Templars. And then there's a bunch of different creatures. There's dragons. There's horses. There's minotaurs. There's cyclopes. Anyway, whatever the plural is. And I thought to myself, no, I'm not going to get into them. But then while I was at Disney World, a friend of mine sent me a link because the same company did a Krampus action figure, which I have photos of on my Instagram if you want to check that out. And I bought it and I was like, this figure is so cool. I'm going to have to get another one. So I got this dude whose name is, he looks like he's one of the dudes that kind of like a cross between a Greek hoplite and a Roman gladiator. But the ones that I have on order that are coming next week, they're all skeleton warriors. So they're all just like skeletons that just have medieval armor on them. And I want an army of skeletons. Like I would love to have an army of skeletons in real life. So I figured, well, if I can't have them in real life, I'll have an army of action figure skeletons. But what's really cool about these guys is that they come with what's called collector's packaging. So you can just slide the card off and you don't rip the card. And whenever you're done with the figure, you can just pop it back in the packaging, which is pretty cool. We've got some a sword, a belt, and a shield. And then we've got a spear. Let me take this out. It's like some nice heavy duty plastic too. 7-inch scale figures. Yeah, I like this. I like this dude a lot. I'm waiting for these skeletons to show up. One of them was a Christmas present from Chelsea. So what do you guys have? Well, I know Dougie's fighting aliens this evening. But Jeremy, what are you guys up to this evening? Anything crazy? Any big plans? Or are you staying close to home? Oh no. No. The twist tie broke. So I'm going to have to get... Oh, there we go. I was about to say I was going to have to get creative, but I didn't. Oh, there we go. There we go. I can toss that in the garbage right here. These figures are fantastic. They're fantastically sculpted, and they're kind of hefty. They've got some pretty good heft to them. Good articulation. These guys are an interesting. The Mythic Legions are an interesting toy line because they purposefully make it to where the entire figure is customizable, so you can pop all these limbs out. Gotta sleep now. Peace and love to everyone. All the best in 2022. Dougie, happy new year, my friend, and I hope to meet you in person sometime soon. Happy new year and much love, and happy 2022 to you, my friend. So take care. Catch you later, man. But you can pop all the limbs off these guys and customize them. Like you take the belts off and everything, and he's got these little pegs in the back so you can buy extra armor pieces that'll plug in. And yeah, I'm getting tons of notifications on my phone here. Let's see. Let's give him the spear. Should we give him the spear, Jeremy? Let's give him the spear. This guy looks pretty. He is fancy. He is fancy. His name is the Vitus, Vitus. But because I'm a nerd and I'm going to pronounce the actual Latin, it's Vitus, because that's how I do things in this household. So I like this. I like the spear a lot. I mean, like double fist the spear. So we can oh, I wonder if you like throw it like a harpoon. Bet you can probably do that too. Latin or nothing. I've actually been boning up on my Latin on Duolingo. I just downloaded the Duolingo app on my phone. Boop. And I've kind of been boning up on my Latin. So it's been helpful. It's been helpful. Let's see. He's got a shield. I don't like the shield, and I know that it's not supposed to be historically accurate, but that, I mean, a lot of good telling me not to think historical accuracy with these things. The shield looks more medieval, has a medieval shape. It's got a really cool. It's got like a really cool, I guess, lion-looking horned lion thing on it. But I don't know, something about that. It just doesn't like I think the shields should be a circle. So, I think I would be a little bit more happier if I had the circle shield, which they do have in like weapons packs, but of course that's just more money. They do have Latin. I downloaded it a while ago, and they didn't have Latin. And I just kind of started. I think I was doing French. Like I think I started off with French, and I got like a couple lessons in, and then I just got bored with it, and I was like, whatever. And then I was at lunch with some people from work, and we were talking about doing studying other languages in college, and they were like, "Oh, Duolingo, blah blah blah," and I was like, "Yeah, but they don't have Latin." And like, they do now, so I immediately downloaded it, and I'm now boning up on my Latin again. So the sword looks more like a medieval sword. It's got that crucifix shape that a lot of the medieval knights and the Templars had. It's not a bad sword. I just don't think it fits the figure. I think the spear might be the way to go, man. I think the spear might be the way to go. So I can't believe I have been live streaming for 40 minutes already. And I can't believe you guys have stuck around for that. So I appreciate it. After I if you're around your computer after I end the live stream, we should Skype. But I think, oh, here we go. Yeah, this dude looks hard now. Check this out. Boom. Yeah. Yeah, the double-handed. Yeah, the spear's the way to go. This is how this dude's getting displayed. The spear. I should probably put him up next to the Krampus and get like a Krampus in gladiator fight going on. Anyway, I think I might actually just end it right there because I don't really have anything else going on. And you and I could continue this conversation on text or Skype or something. But for the viewers that will eventually see this, thanks for watching. I really appreciate it. And I did want to mention that in the last year, and I don't know if I'm going to save this live stream and upload it or not, or if I'm just going to like have it be one and done. But just in case in the next few minutes I do decide to save it, I wanted to mention just like my channel has obviously taken a different turn. When I started off doing this channel, it was vlogs and I love doing those, and I still love doing those, but the last year I've been doing a lot of these toy hunt videos and just really talking about a hobby that I fell back in love with, partly because of the pandemic. And I think that's kind of how the channel is going to go. I think that is the direction going into 2022. It's been the majority of what was been going on in 2021, but I feel like I've kind of grown a little bit of an audience because of the toy stuff, and I think that that's the direction I'm going to go in. And it gives me an outlet to just kind of ramble on about these things too, because my wife can only stand so much. So I'm going to end it there. I'm going to say thank you all to have watched. Much appreciated. I know it's New Year's Eve. You could be anywhere, but you watch this the stream, and it means a lot to me. So thank you so much for watching. We'll see you real soon. We'll see you in 2022. Stay spooky.